let's just start there since we're there. I mean, you want to talk about the 49ers, who, of course, I think are as well coached as any team in football, offensively and defensively. I mean, hey, we know the 49ers, they played good football last night. They made mistakes. We know that. You drive down the field on the first drive of the game, you got a chance to put pressure on them. Christian McCaffrey fumbles. You drive down the second drive of the game, and you miss for now standards in the NFL, a chip shot field goal that 40-something yards, 40, I think, maybe exactly, right? Now the third drive, they go down and score, whatever else. But that moment right there, that was the first time the whole game, the 49ers, it felt like, oh, wait, they're about to control this game and it's going to start swaying their way. Even though they had a few early game mess-ups, now they've settled in and they're going to start to wear down the Vikings. The Vikings have no timeouts. That play call by Steve Wilks and the defensive coaching staff there, that's inexplicable. I don't understand what they were doing there. That was a monumental mistake. Like, monumental. There's no timeouts. It's third down, and you bring an all-out blitz. In fact, the only thing where you go, they could actually get points, we're going to play that defense, okay? We're going to roll the dice. For what reason? I don't know. To get another sack on the stat book? I don't understand that. But to play that defense and give Kirk Cousins and Addison the chance on a one-on-one ball in that moment, yeah, when you hit that play, you're right. That was when I went, oh, man, 49ers were about to go into halftime with all the momentum, and now it's totally changed around, and it's going to be an uphill battle in the second half. I don't care how well they play, down 9 points. So, yeah, it could have been an interception. I understand that. But the defensive play call is where it starts, and that's what you get for blitzing 7 people on 3rd and 6 with no timeouts and the clock going down to, what did they snap it? Was 16 seconds left? Absolutely made no sense. That was a bad move by the 49ers and the coaching staff there.
And I like these opportunities to delve into the psychology of why people do what they do. We talked yesterday about how the Bills keep retreating to just let Josh Allen go do something to try to save us instead of having a foundation in your offense where you run and you do this and play action, etc. I almost feel like there was a combination of frustration and arrogance that came together at the worst possible time.
Maybe.
They hadn't gotten to Kirk Cousins at all in the first half, right? You got Nick Bosa. You got Randy Gregory, who flashed a couple of times, and I thought, this guy's going to wreck this game before it's over with. There were a couple of times that he was on Kirk, and it's like, where the hell did this guy come from? Oh, God, it's Randy Gregory, and now they got another piece on top of all these other guys, and this guy breaks free. But you haven't gotten to him. And you're thinking, we're going to put the pedal to the metal here. Let's go get them. They're just not going to take a knee and go in. They're going to actually try to get more. Let's go get them. Let's go get them. Maybe the ball pops up in the air. We get a quick field goal. It's 10-10 at halftime. We've seen that movie before. A lot of the movies we've seen before with Kirk Cousins weren't playing last night. They've moved on to another town. The idea that the wall's closed, somebody hits him, ball's in the air, turnover. The thing to get used to. You see it so often, you just get used to it. And Chris, even though it was an ill-advised play call, it should have worked. It should have resulted in an interception because Ward was in position to catch the ball. That's what makes it all so weird. It was high risk, low reward, and the risk almost paid off.
Yeah,
because Ward was there to catch the ball.
But it should have worked.
It really is amazing.
It should have worked, but there's a reason Charvarius Ward's a DB, and he's not that good at playing the ball. And it should have worked, too, where I could also go, yeah, but, if we could show the highlight itself one more time. I mean, it's one-on-one. Kirk Cousins, if he throws a better ball, he's got him beat, too. So there's no justification for this call at all. There's not. And you're right. Whether it's frustration or the defensive staff, I don't know what they were thinking they were going to do there. There's really nothing I can logically point to other than we're going to be a meatheads and just hit the quarterback one more time, and we're frustrated by that. As a quarterback, he's gone. If that ball gets thrown out by the hash number, the right hash, that he's got Javarius Ward beat by, two good strides there. If I was a quarterback, if Peyton Manning was a quarterback, right? Well, we shouldn't put me and him in the same sentence. Excuse me. If Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers saw that defense right there, before they would be going, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're about to all out blitz me with you're going to give me a chance to make a big play and just throw a ball up. We know the current environment in the NFL. 1, the receivers are good at catching jump balls. 2, DBs are DBs for a reason. 3, the referees can throw flags for pass interference for blowing in the guy's ear. Geez, that's where we've gotten to. Why risk it? So, not on a night where the offense and special teams messed up there, that was the defense's turn right there. And you're right, Mike, like you said a few minutes ago, that was the moment where you went, oh, wow, we're going into the second half is going to be a game. Like they're not pulling away. Now they're going to have to scratch and claw to come back and try to win this football game.
And when you look at the second half, the Vikings only added 6 points.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was 22-16 at the break, or 16-7 at the break, 22-17 is the final score. They went from 16 to 22 in the second half. And explain this one, because you call it an all-out blitz.
Right.
But when we show the graphic, obviously you're going to cover the 3 guys that go into the pattern. It looks like Fred Warner dropped back in coverage as well. So it's a 7-man. When does it become all-out blitz, and what's the most guys as a practical matter that you can send?
Well, it's usually 7 is the max, right? Fred Warner is there probably to cover Hawkinson in case the left tight end there went out, right? He decided to block. So now Fred Warner's just free in that to go, let me play in case they throw a quick slant, right? And now I'll rally to the football. Right, so that's where he's there. But still, within technical terms of the NFL, that would be considered an all-out blitz. When you get to 7 people blitzing, right, that's when it becomes all out. And sometimes in these type of blitzes where Fred Warner might have been responsible for the tight end, sometimes teams go, wait, if you see him block, then you can blitz too because he's not going out and you can go, right? But this is one where they probably played it to, hey, he blocks, let's not let him throw a shallow cross, a slant route, and you can make the tackle instead of our safety being one-on-one. But still, there was a one-on-one downfield. Kirk Cousins recognized that. And yeah, the psychology of why that was called at that moment is shocking. Shanahan, I know they said, in the halftime report or whatever, seemed like he was surprised by the call itself too. I can't remember exactly how Lisa Salters kind of paraphrased the comment either way, but I'm sure even him as an offensive play caller, he would be going, wait, we don't want to do that in that moment. So that was a monumental flub by the defensive staff there, and gave the Vikings some real positive momentum. And like you said, Mike, I don't know if it was frustration, meatheadedness, right? Yeah, we didn't get sacks. We haven't hit the quarterback. We didn't talk about Nick Bosa and many of those defensive linemen throughout the night because your Vikings O-line, they can pass protect with those damn tackles you got and that O-line. They can. So I don't know, but that was a huge moment in the football game.
One observation and one question. The observation is this. As we break it down, it reminds me of when we completely dissected the Minneapolis Miracle play and how all these guys are wasted covering the middle of the field. Fred Warner was wasted there. He should have blitzed. If Hawkinson doesn't come out, go get maybe that one extra guy is what makes the difference. That one guy that slips through the crack and gets to Kirk Cousins, because roaming around the middle of the field with no timeouts, what good are you going to do there? What can you do to help anything in that moment? So maybe he should have gone in that spot. And the question is this: when you've got a head coach who is the offensive play caller and is constantly focused on the offense, I have visions of Sean McVay sitting on the Gatorade tub and just basically handing the keys to Wade Phillips back in the early years of McVay's time with the Rams, not even paying attention to the game itself when the defense was on the field. When, where, and how does the head coach say to the defensive play caller, ho, 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 wait, hold on. Right. Ho, hold on. Your gut's my blood, buddy. No. We're not doing this. Is Shanahan in position to hear what's happening and veto it? and say, hey, call a different defense. I don't think we should do that here.
He controls everything. He's the head coach. He has full, total control of that football team in every capacity, roster moves, whatever it is. He's the GM, the head coach. And even to the defensive point, Mike, the defense, they run the 49ers defense. It's not Steve Wilks' defense. It wasn't D'Amico Ryan's defense, because Shanahan's played a big part in how they play on that side of the ball. So when Steve Wilks gets the job, yeah, he might have a few wrinkles he adds in, but he learns what they want to do on defense, right? So Shanahan's definitely got, his hand in that mix there. But now, like you said, the point, or the big question, and it's tough when you're the offensive play caller. You do trust your D coordinator. You probably have talked about scenarios like this many a times already, and somehow, somewhere, yeah, that didn't match up, whether Shanahan was talking to offensive coaches at that moment or doing something else. I know I saw one replay we even showed. You could see Kyle in the background. He's got the tablet in his hand, so he's probably looking at some things that they did on defense, trying to maybe get prepared at halftime to give his offense some coaching points or whatever else. So, but yeah, that's one where, I'm sure he'd like to go back in time and go, hey, wait, we can't call that right there. They throw the ball up here and we miss the tackle, they score a touchdown. And I'm sure he would like to have that over. And by the sounds of that phrase, or the paraphrasing of Lisa Salters, it sounded like he was a little surprised by that call altogether. But hey, ultimately, yeah, he is the head coach, and he's the one that's got to step up or say something in that moment if he doesn't like it.
I had a flashback to Peyton Manning derisively saying that halftime adjustments are meaningless, there's nothing that can be done, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, you got Shanahan getting a head start on making adjustments and figuring out what they're doing. It's not really halftime adjustments, it's just the constant act of figuring out what they're doing.
That's right.
What are they doing that we can do differently? And the 12, 15 minutes at halftime is just part of that opportunity to figure out what the hell they're doing.
Exactly.
So there aren't halftime adjustments. There's constant adjustments. You take any moment you can, and maybe sometimes a moment you shouldn't, because if you check out on what your defense is doing, if you have too much trust in the person to whom you've given the keys to the car, there's a chance it's going to run into a telephone pole like it did last night with the 7-man blitz and the opportunity for Kirk Cousins to find Jordan Addison, even though Travarius Ward was in position to pick it off. But that was the moment. And by the way, this comes courtesy of Next Gen Stats. The 49ers sent the first 7-man rush in the final 30 seconds of the half in opposing territory since Week 11 of 2020. That hadn't happened by anyone since then.
They're not a team that does that generally. That's the other thing that's shocking. You kind of hit on it already. They got a great front four. They don't usually do that type of stuff. They're not that. And yeah, that was a definitely a big moment. And like you said, yeah, Shanahan's over there. It's about the messaging he's going to try to give his offense at halftime too. Hey guys, it's this kind of game. They're playing us this way, right? We got to figure it out. I got to go to this part of the game plan. These are the things we got to, adjust here as we go. And that's what you're trying to do, right? But yes, that call, I guarantee any defensive coordinator or quarterback that was watching that game last night was sitting there going, Are you kidding me? They're going to do that? Forget the post route and throwing the ball down the field. You play that type of defense. He throws a slant route to Addison on the right side, and Charvarius Ward trips or just misses the tackle. And it's like, whoa, he's off to the races. You're just taking – the risk is way greater than the reward in that moment. And that's where Steve Wilks and the defensive staff definitely lost their way.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.